Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, make sure we're live here, welcome to Tyranny, Obsidian's new RPG. Now, I'm a big fan of Obsidian RPGs. I've gotten tons of hours in Fallout New Vegas, of course modded, and I've played a bit of their last title, Pillars of Eternity, which is, well, it's basically what this has been built on top of, allowing them to get pretty hardcore about the story, I guess, instead of focusing on just getting the engine developed to the point where they want it. So, welcome to Tyranny. Turn-based RPG in the vein of, I guess, the old classic Baldur's Gate. Maybe some of you have played that. Pretty great. But anyways, we're gonna jump into it. I have not played any yet. I have not seen any of the story. I have not played any of the mechanics. I wanna just get right in and check it out and see how it is. So let's get started. New game. We'll go ahead and drop it on normal difficulty, expert mode. Disables a number of helper features in the game. Players who wanna rely on their own faculties and intuition while playing, this could actually be really cool. And I might, if I ever play this on my own off the stream, I might bump this up since I am a fan of Pillars of Eternity, which it says is probably better for veteran players. But we'll go ahead and jump it on normal. And they even have an Iron Man mode. Let's get into it. Obsidian has a talent for world spaces and writing. I mean, that's what made New Vegas to me so damn good.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle.
Okay.
Watching over the two generals is Tyranny, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tyranny brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Interesting. So in this story, basically the big hero that's come to save the land, right, in every other RPG that you've probably ever played, has failed. The army of domination is coming over and just laid waste to the land in some type of magical apocalypse, and they're taking over this new territory, and you're actually part of the evil army that's taking everything over. So it's this twist on the classic story. All right, let's make our characters. So it's kind of got like a shaded look to it. I dig it. I like the art style. Let's get into, what do I want to, Sure, that'll work. Let's go with that one. Role. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of the tiers, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Oh, that's a weird switch. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in tiers always passes daughters to sisters. Now that's an interesting division. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archons. If a child cannot forge his own skin, he will certainly find one in battle. Indeed. All right. Hairstyles, facial styles. Can I zoom in on my face? No, I can't. The majority of the game will be played from an isometric perspective. At least that's what it looks like from the trailers. So we won't be seeing a lot of like the detail on the characters, unless they do have cutscenes where they zoom in, which I kind of hope they do. Let's see. Let's change my hair color. Sure, why not?
That wasn't so hard. Moving cautiously.
Music's a little loud.
On
We'll
it.
go aggressive. And hairstyles. I'm not kind of sure what kind of character I want to make. Like, do I want to make a military-esque soldier? Do I want to make some type of old mage? Can I make an old mage? Do I get the epic beard? I want an epic beard anyways, but... Oh, I kind of like that. The manliest of beards. And then the trick of finding a portrait that actually matches how you picture your character. And then these are all the female portraits, yeah. Some of these look actually look pretty cool. Let's zoom back over. I don't know what I want to be either. Like, can I choose classes like sword and board in this? I hope so. Okay, here we go. How did you join Kairos' army? Well, I was a pit fighter. That sounds pretty cool. I was a hunter. When the leader of your home village spoke out of turn, one time too many, agents of the Overlord put the whole town to the torch to contain the spread of insubordination. The bounding Viper tribe came across the smoking ruins of your village, and when the beasts Markyriarch found you frozen but unafraid, the mighty leader took you in and raised you as one of their tribe. So it looks like disfavored soldiers came to dispense the ravenous scavengers from your tribe. Nah, I don't want to be a hunter. Let's see. Hunter would think like bow and arrow type character. I'm thinking straight up soldier. Unable to settle the year's accounts with grain your parents offered you as the... Oh, what? They sold me to pay off their debts? Sold me to the overlords instead. Seeing your first battles as a child, you've known all your life how to fight. How to stay calm at the sight of blood and disembowelment, and how to rely on your fellow warriors. Deemed smarter than the average killer, you were groomed for command and given an education in letters and numbers. With rumors of war, it seemed recruitment into the disfavored legion would be obvious match for your skills. But the Archon of Justice is known to say that good iron is not used for swords, and good minds are not used for soldiers. Claimed by Tunin, you were instead drafted into the court of fate binders where your martial skills were put to use to enforce Kairos' law. I actually really like that one. I think that's what we're gonna do. History in the army as a soldier. I mean, a diplomat could be really cool, but I'd be a very different character. I'd have to go more probably magic user if I went diplomat. And I've heard from people who have already started playing this, they've gotten early access to it, that the early decisions that you make change how the game plays. From this, and then whatever happens right after your character creation will change throughout the entire campaign, like how it flows, so every game will be a little bit different. But for my first run through, I think soldier's gonna be the way to go. All right, what's my primary expertise? Well, you have sword and board as the first thing. Shock spells, vigor spells. The School of Vigor is a utility branch of magic that focuses on granting bonuses to yourself and your allies. Dual wielding, unarmed attacks, short bow. They have short bow, but they don't have like long bow, so why wouldn't it just be bow? Short bow is a weapon of choice for this. Oh, I know probably why. I bet if I change, like say I'm a diplomat, if I go next, does it change what I can choose? No, it doesn't. Okay, so weapon choice is not combined to your history. But I bet this history comes and backs and bites me in some way. Right? Like, maybe I have friends in the army that I make contact with. That's what I'm hoping happens with this. It's not just some fluff text, but it actually makes a difference. All right, sword and board is what we're gonna go. Actually, let's look through them. Sword and board, one-handed weapons parry, and athletics. Wielding a sword and shield puts you in the front line of combat, standing between enemies and your allies. Holding a shield will slow down your attack rate slightly, but give you good defensive bonuses. So we can't attack as often, but I get the defense bonuses. Sounds good. Great sword, two-handed sword, extra damage. See the short bow. Oh, but I like the look. Shock spells. Armed fighter. All right, unarmed fighter looks pretty cool. Oh, we have abilities here. Shield slam. 10 to 15 crush versus endurance. Slam your shield against a target, dazing them for a moderate amount of time. So it's a daze for 20 seconds. Oh, interesting. Sunder. What do you do? Deliver a powerful overhead attack that reduces the target's armor. Can I choose a secondary? I hope so. Well, that would be cool. Well, I have to choose one of these. Well, shield bash, of course. So we're gonna go sword and shield. Javelin could have been really cool too, because you get the shield as well. Very like sparkling. I'm gonna go sword and board though. Now your secondary expertise. So you do get to making like vigor spells, and maybe have a sort of almost like paladin-y vibe to me. This drains the skills and attributes of your enemies, weakening their attacks and making them easier to kill. Frost spells or shock spells. Interruption is what you get from shock spells. All right, we'll go with Vigor will give us the Titan's Touch. Fill the target with a surge of greatness, granting them a bonus to might and vitality. I like the idea that as a soldier, my character might be rallying the troops or his comrades at arms around him to, jump into the fray. So this is his Titan's Touch. Surge of greatness, granting them bonus to might and vitality. So that's what we're gonna go with. I don't know, it might be a crazy build, but it's kind of the fun is making your own character, right? I get my own banner? Well, I mean, the first one probably matches what I'm going for with my group of almost like knights. This is kind of cool too. I mean, I wonder if out of the chaos and disorder that's come from this invasion, can I make the world a better place through that? Right? Through the tyranny of whatever's going on right now. Okay, I can change my flag color as well. So the two sides they've shown with a kind of color palette already. They've shown the two armies that the elite group, which is kind of like a bluish color, and then you've got this horde, which is this reddish color. So I might go like maybe orange, so I can definitely see my own flag by itself, and then my character colors maybe go with like a blue. This armor looks kind of goofy. Not gonna lie, I'm not really digging the armor so much. I'm hoping that I can customize this a bit more once we get in, which I should be able to. One would think. Maybe like the orange and white. If I go orange and white's kind of FCOM or Armco colors for our group. If you don't know, we have a Discord channel and we have a couple of guilds in multiple games like Star Trek Online or, even Star Citizen. That's where Armco came from, for the community, for the XP Gamers community and Wasted Spaces community. So there's a link to go over to the Discord. Anyways, FCOM, orange and white seems to be our colors for our PlayStation 2 group and for the rest of the guild. So I think that's what we're gonna go for. Let's do it. I mean, how cool would it be if in this, I have a chance to like start a rebellion against the dictator? I think that would be really neat. Have my own faction and have to make really hard decisions based on, taking power. My character's name will be John Roland, a soldier turned officer in the army. All right, so here's our stats: might, finesse, quickness, vitality, wits, and resolve. I'm assuming might would be my physical might. Determines the physical strength of a character. Increased might leads to more powerful attacks and stronger abilities, as well as increasing the endurance defenses. Okay, so I'll be doing what? This is absolutely strongly recommended for you because of your training with sword and shield and vigor spells. They actually combine with vigor spells. So let's make that like a primary attribute. Now, this one's highly recommended. I guess that's what the gold is. I assume silver must be like recommended, but not incredibly. Recommended because of your training in sword and shield. Attribute describes a character's physical and mental precision. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells. Yeah, I absolutely hate it in turn-based games or in numbered-based games where you're missing. If you guys remember, was it Oblivion that was like that, where you'd be swinging right in their face and you'd miss because your stats are crap? Determines the character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. I don't want to go too hardcore into one of these. Wits would be nice. That would be vigor spells. Let's actually do that. Got one more point. I'm gonna put it into wits. Or finesse. We'll go finesse. Indeed. Next, weapon skills. We've got magic staff, one-handed weapons. That's what I want to go with, one-handed weapons. Get those sword skills up there. Support skills, athletics. Determines the character's ability to traverse difficult terrain as well as their ability to execute complicated moves in combat. Athletics is also used in dialogue to determine your ability to intimidate or physically overpower someone. Lore, the skills recommended for you because of your vigor spells. Lore skills determine a character's ability to decipher information and put together clues from fragments of information. This skill is critical for magic users who wish to learn new ruins of power to power their spells. Lore is also used in dialogue to determine what you know about the history of the world or to impress others with your intelligence. Parry is your skill to defend yourself against melee attacks and spells. Higher skill. Okay, so this is going to be more like the story stuff. I'm not gonna go with dodge. Subterfuge. Skill determines the character's ability to move unseen throughout the environment. Like a thief character would be really cool in this. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Sorry if I'm not paying a credible amount of attention to the chat. I'm currently making my character, and you all know how important that can be. All right, I want to have this guy like a well-known swordsman, and with one-handed weapons, he is fantastic. His ability to parry blows is also well-known, and because he's a soldier. His background is a soldier in the army. His athletic skills should be pretty high up there. Able to climb mountains and get the job done physically. Let's go ahead and get parry up there. I want to bring up a little bit of lore, like he's studied the history books, he understands the areas that he's in and why it's important one way or another. Maybe he'll be able to work the political aspect a bit more. I'm hoping that's how that plays in, right? Like, I will know something about the lore of an area to be able to talk somebody into something. That's the kind of stuff I like. Conquest or Quick Start. Selecting the Conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' Conquest of the Tiers. I guess these are the areas. Choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over how, it's starting state of the game and how other factions react to your character. This is cool. All right, so I had joined the army, I'd become an officer. Let's do the Conquest and figure out what my decisions were during the invasion.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tiers. Our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Okay.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment.
Sorry, guys. It's gonna get muted for a second. I've got to drop the banhammer. All right, Kairos' armies have arrived. During the conquest, you will decide your character's action during Kairos' invasion of the Tiers, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Oh, this is what they were talking about, how the beginning of the game fundamentally changes how you will play it. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. Year 1 of his conquest. It's like a battle map. Oh, man. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' Empire of the Tiers. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backward trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the tiers. Kairos' will is unsurmountable. So this was the first place that they took over. It is a dock, it makes sense. This is the entrance into the territory, the Bastard City. Select a token on the map to begin. Infiltrate the tiers. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way, or Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies crossed the mountains and established a foothold. I bet we have to choose both of these. Or do I have to? Oh, okay, so these are the events that happened. Here's the city that we were taking during the war. And these are the events that happened. We infiltrated the tiers, and then there was the Gates of Judgment battle. Now, I have to choose what happened here. So, infiltrate the tiers. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest. But the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? Oh, shit. Conscript enemy fighters for the Scarlet Chorus, or aid the Disfavored scouts. So the Disfavored are the elite group, right? I think I'm gonna go with the Disfavored. A small group instead of like an army horde. I kind of like that idea. So we aided the Disfavored scouts. Oh, this gives us a little bit more information when we click these. Good. You lent your skills to the elite Disfavored scouts to capture a border garrison. Graven Ash insisted that an early victory in the offense would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the hotly overconfidence of the Southerners. This is the other choice we have. You join the Scarlet Chorus as they raided villages and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. So they're all about numbers and conscripting just locals to fight for them. We're definitely gonna go with, we took a victory early on to show these Southerners that there is no victory against us. Next. The Oath-bound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinions on the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell into silence, followed by the cheering of disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. So I actually helped plan this attack and take this location. Indeed. I bet that pissed off the horde. So now we've got, so I lost this ability. Oh. I only had one of the two choices. Now, interesting. So I have to choose between these two things and what we do. I like the idea that we took this first battle to the enemy. Containing the fire, or we've got inside agents. Your fiercest opponents in the Bastard City were the mages of the School of Wild Wrath. Too barbaric to use their powers responsibly, the unbridled practitioners needed to be stopped. How did you trick the hot-tempered mages into their own undoing? I don't know if what's the other one, infiltrate? Yeah, I guess the other one was infiltrate the city. You lured the hot-headed mages to an ambush where a legion of disfavored waited to spring the trap. The soldiers were hungry for a chance to subdue the arcane branch of the tier's resistance. Meh, what's inside agents? With the border garrison captured by your disfavored allies, you traveled ahead of Kairos' army and lurked in the shadows of the Bastard City. You decided that converting one of the local Kairoses to your side, the locals to Kairos' side, would help bring the city to its knees. After all, corruption starts from within. I recruited a well-informed captain of the guard to sell military secrets to the disfavored. Oh, that's kind of twisted, but I kind of like it. So then the question becomes, and I wonder what happens here. If we do this, we probably recruit this captain of the guard to be in our party. That's what I kind of foresee happening. I'm not sure though. Or we take out these fiery mages of doom. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What is this one if we do it? You enlisted a bitter captain of the guard. Okay, why is he bitter? I wonder if that's what we'll find out. You guys thinking well-informed captain too? Because so am I. I wasn't thinking the inside agent like sneaking into the city would really match the idea of this soldier, this tactician is the character that I'm trying to like build out. But if he's a tactician and he's recruiting another soldier, I could see that. I could totally see that. It looks like the chat's saying inside agent, so we're gonna go ahead and go with that as the disfavored. Because the other option, if we wanted to go with a fast-talking smuggler. Welcome, you came to an arrangement with a well-connected smuggler who knew how to sneak agents to the Scarlet Chorus behind the city walls. Let's see, we're better offers than the soldier. No, I like the disfavored captain. The disgruntled, bitter captain. Let's do that one. Yeah, and it looks like everybody says, do the mages. Got a couple killed mages. But everybody else is with captain, so let's do bitter captain it is. The captain of the guard was of a mind that the bastard city was corrupt and deserving of better leadership. You did nothing to convince him otherwise. After taking your promises of stature and security to heart, he offered you the list of valuable assets. From weakened stones in the ramparts to the state of siege provisions, capping it off with a list of city officials whose loyalties could likewise be turned to support your cause. Wow, this is the beginning of the end for this city. Betrayal of the Bastard City. Your tactics of infiltration placed you in the Bastard City ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city defenses for your arrival of Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful vantage. How did you assist in the fall of the Bastard City? Oh, I've got 3 options now. So I have, you challenged the commander of the Bastard City's defenses to an honorable fight to the death. The disfavored wished to spare soldiers' lives for the battle ahead and civilian lives for the occupation. Okay, so this is the least loss of life. We actually get an ability for this. Warrior's Respite. Standing your ground in the face of defeat, during this time you would regenerate health rapidly, but your damage is significantly reduced. Alright, so that's kind of like a stone wall move. I like that these events actually shape your character. I bet you could be a real bastard in this game. I think the challenge in this one will be trying to be a person with some type of moral compass in the situation that you're gonna find yourself in. And I really like that concept. All right, the next one, Betrayal of the Bastard City. Spreading the word of Kairos, you converted the poor and disaffected into a hidden army of the Scarlet Chorus. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with these sleeper cells. Searing Palm. Yeah, I'm not digging that story, though. Spread fear through assassination. No. Not really digging it. We're gonna go with this one. So, I went one-on-one with the commander of the city's defenses. I assume I won. The city's marshal was an old but experienced fighter, and his value to the guard was an unaccepted truth. After making guarantees for your protection, you met him in the square of the market district and fought in the view of tense onlookers. The battle drew on longer than you thought possible. Good fortune struck when an ornamental chain hanging from the marshal's armor snagged the quillion of his sword, granting you the opportunity to end his life swiftly. Kairos forces celebrated your return to the camp and the dissolution of enemy morale. All agree that the Bastard City was poised to crumble. Indeed, and there it is. I like the little animation of it sinking. We were able to save civilian lives through doing that, and all I had to do was risk my own. I like that. All right, so the Bastard City settled into a new state of normalcy. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into 2 fronts and migrated south. Tunin sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as the judge and overseer of the settlement of Lithuanians Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. You may choose one of these locations, so where do we go? Oh, good, it tells me more. I don't know anything about these 2, so you're gonna tell me a bit more. I really don't want to be either as a judge and overseer of a settlement or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. I kind of like the idea of Apex. The troops, because a war advisor makes more sense for a soldier, right? The troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the Bastard tier fell. In the second year of the war, a joint force of Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the Tyr's Central Valley. Now keep in mind, guys, this isn't the main game. This is like building up to the main game. We're gonna go to Apex. I'm marching with the army as a war advisor. Indeed, Winchester. We're on our second year. Now I want to make a diplomat, like a politician, and see where that goes, but we have to play through this first. Okay, we're at Apex, the mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the queens of House Vendurin. Stood at the heart of the Tiers. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus had pushed deep into the Tiers. Elements of both armies were dispatched to conquer Apex. Tunin assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both of the armies. So I'm keeping an eye on the Scarlet Chorus and the Disfavored. I like that you can put your mouse over it and read who these people are, because there's just so much lore here that you're getting dropped on. All right, we have two more options. We have the Battle of Edring Pass. The Archon of Stone's assault was perhaps too successful. Or Denial of Strength. That's what we've got. The Disfavored sent their most destructive ally to crush Edging Fort. Karen, Archon of Stone, buried the stronghold under an avalanche triggered from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Chorus were promised captured enemies for recruitment, yet none survived the onslaught. The Chorus demanded compensation. Oh, so there's gonna be this back and forth between the two armies, and it looks like I'm stuck in the middle. You congratulate the Disfavored for taking the pass without risking the lives of Kairos' loyal servants. At this stage of the campaign, it was vital to use any advantage that would migrate its loss. So we can literally have this thing just get sucked underground and say, well, sucks to be you, Chorus, F off. Or what else we got? Denial of Strength. The School of Water Mages loyal to the Tiersmen posed a substantial threat. The Disfavored wished to annihilate the school, while the Scarlet Chorus insisted on capturing the mages wishing to learn their craft. All mages had a chance to surrender before the war, and trying to capture the enemy would lead to needless losses. So we just killed them all. There won't be any water mages left. You know, I kind of like the idea of just bringing this down. I feel like this character is going to go very hardcore into the Disfavored's camp. Very favorable to the Disfavored, because the other group, the Scarlet, are going to be this mob of undisciplined soldiers and slaves, right? And that's not what a trained officer and soldier would vie for, I don't think. In this case, at least. Okay, the Scarlet Chorus claims were significant compared to the loss's victory. You congratulate the Disfavored and encourage the Scarlet Chorus to better value their soldiers' lives, and suggest that gang bosses took worse than the original offense. Vowing to remember this, the slighted army returned to camp to sulk, if not lick their wounds. Yeah, get out of here. Looks like we've got about 2 more years of these story bits. Marriage Bed Armistice and Sword of the Fallen. Excuse me. Okay. Marriage Bed Armistice. The enemy readied for a peacetime festival as Kairos forces armed for battle. The Disfavored paid no mind to the southern customs and planned to attack the Vendurin forces during their annual celebration. The Scarlet Chorus insisted on a day of non-violence. As former Tiersmen, many could grasp the decency of temporary reprieve. Okay, so we've got the locals who've been recruited into the Scarlet Chorus say, hey, let's just have a day, let's just chill. This is a time of peace, where the Disfavored are like, no, we need to win this war, and we need to win it now. You sided with the Disfavored commander and paid no homage to their bygone custom, interrupting a cultural pastime and slaughtering your way through non-combatants. Ugh, all right, no, we're not doing that. I don't think so. We may actually side against them. You offer the locals their last feast, sending a few Scarlet Chorus agents into the mix in good faith. The army hoped that the gesture would foster an air partnership and occupation in the time to come. That might actually be really interesting. That could be a really interesting story later on. Maybe we'll find a new ally that way. Swords of the Fallen. Scarlet Chorus soldiers were seen wearing disfavored gear, supposedly taken from those who fell in battle. The disfavored were outraged, citing tradition that their armor passed only to next of kin within the army. In a debate of tradition versus practicality, you had to rule in favor of one army over the other. Oh, shit. So the Horde here are... Ah, you're kidding me. The Horde are looting disfavored dead soldiers and taking their gear. I mean, I get the practicality of it. They probably need weapons badly with the numbers that they've been recruiting. But I guess you have to draw the line somewhere, especially if it's supposed to pass down to the children of these elite soldiers. Help me out with this one, guys. Now I'm curious what you guys think. This is kind of a tough one. We could go back to the marriage armistice, and I kind of want to go with the Scarlet Chorus. I think this is a better idea, especially for the upcoming occupation. I'm gonna go with it. Since we're trying to be this character with like a moral standing, and he's already saved so many civilians, I'm gonna go with, well, levying with the Scarlet Chorus on this one. We're going to let them have their feast and make some goodwill, and then, you know, march in and conquer them. The festivities went off as expected, and the Scarlet Chorus recruits you sent to enjoy themselves reported little animosity among the revelers. The disfavored protested your ruling as too merciful and waged all-night training drills to combat the sound of celebration with the anthem of swords and shields. You sent forces to attack the following day, a battle from which the disfavored recused themselves out of protest. So they didn't actually join the battle the next day. Wow, probably because they were up all night training. There's going to be consequences for this character. I think there's going to be consequences that I don't expect as well. Trying to have some type of moral compass in this is going to come back and bite me in the ass, which is going to be fun. All right, well, the fall of Apex. With the defeat of Apex and inevitability, the armies of Kairos met to discuss how to put an end to this stage of the conquest. Both armies agreed to send an offer of parley. Along with their acceptance, the enemy requested that you appear at the meeting. Word of your fair dealings had apparently spread to their ranks. How did you orchestrate the surrender of the realm of Apex? Really? Through days of meditation, you negotiated the surrender of the Valley of Kairos forces, putting an end to further bloodshed, or taunting of the Queen of Apex into striking you under a banner of truce. You baited the Queen of Apex into a duel and slew her, frightening her vassals into submission. A rule by fear and terror, or of negotiation and meditation. We're gonna have to go with negotiation and meditation on this one. We're gonna negotiate the surrender. Your former enemies were loath to part with their lands, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. The Tearsmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rules of Apex finally submit to your terms of surrender, putting an end to the war in the valley and freeing up Kairos' forces to march deeper into the Tears. Fantastic. Meditation. All right. The fall of Apex in the center of their territory. The land of Apex finally rests in the hands of Kairos forces. The Scarlet Chorus pauses to revel in victory, while the disfavored prepare for the next fight. Affording themselves but an evening's rest, Kairos' armies radiate out from the conquered citadel and work their way across the tiers. The disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus aim to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Kairos' military left the choice of the next destination yours to make. So instead of just advising, now I'm actually choosing our next objective, which is these three territories here. Indeed. Let's see what we've got. We have the Citadel. You may choose only one of these three locations. And it's not going to give me any more information unless I leave my mouse over it. Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Velium Citadel. Its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. Or Kairos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the natives of it. See, there's nothing here to sway me one way or the other. Like, why choose any of these so far? Stalwart. With its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers. You know what? That might be the one to go. If we break their military back, go after a military target, that may be the best option. Hang on 2 seconds, guys. I will drop the orbital banhammer. Don't come up in my house, be talking shit. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go after the military target. Easily defendable. Confirm. Year 3 of the conquest. The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kairos forces approached with due caution. With its southern position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war. If it was largely safe from war, then how do they have this this history of never losing it? Watching for 2 years as its neighbors fell to Kairos' forces, on the dawn of the 3rd year of war, Kairos' forces were finally poised to invade the Stalwart Peninsula and subdue the tier's most vaunted army. 2 choices here. Marching on empty. Tragedy struck when hungered Scarlet Curse soldiers appropriately disfavored supplies. What do we got? The Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Chorus mob raided from the disfavored's well-maintained supply lines? Wait a minute, they attacked... Oh god, the army is tearing itself apart in this last battle. What are my options? You order that the thieving Scarlet Chorus soldiers be spiked for their efforts. Ooh. This is going to choose, I think, which side I'll end up siding with. By your command, the disfavored shared their provisions. The thieves each lost a hand for their treachery. Oh! So either I'm mounting their heads on a pike, or I'm cutting off one of their hands, and that's like the nice thing to do. And that's still sharing their supplies. After a defeat at the hands of enemy defenders, the Scarlet Chorus accused the disfavored of recklessness. The disfavored claimed that the Scarlet Chorus brought too few soldiers to cover their flanks. Both armies refused to march until you gave a ruling. Seriously? Knowing the disfavored's reputation for discipline as well as the Scarlet Chorus's powers to install fear and frenzy, you decide that the Scarlet Chorus was in the wrong. You know, I kind of like the supply line one. You do not steal from the army, especially not the elite soldiers of the army. I kind of want to go that route, but our other option would be knowing the disfavored's reputation for discipline as well as Scarlet Chorus's powers to instill fear and frenzy. Decide. This is a tough one because there's no like clear answer for me with this character. Man, dropping the banhammer this morning. I haven't even finished my cup of coffee yet and I've already banned 4 people. Now that's a thing. I'm gonna go with, we're gonna go a little brutal on this one, but you cannot steal from friendly soldiers. You're taking food out of the mouths of the army. I don't care which side you're on. Even in a time of war, there's no excuse for allied armies to battle each other in violation of Kairos' peace. The disfavored rightly argue that they only had enough supplies to feed their troops. The Scarlet Chorus needed to better look after their own people. Don't recruit if you can't feed. Agreeing with their assessment, you had the offenders staked outside the Scarlet Chorus's camp, left to send a message that hunger was no shield from justice. Indeed. We still haven't taken the city yet, so we're probably about to choose how we took the city. Better dead than red? A string of mass suicides led to the Scarlet Chorus making demands of the disfavored. Or a new Scarlet Chorus tactic provoked disadvantage and rage. The Scarlet Chorus mages discovered a spell to turn beastmen slaves against their handlers. The army prepared to deploy this tactic elsewhere, but the disfavored protested. The use of unsanctioned magical practices ran contrary to Kairos' law, and beastmen were considered too erratic to be relied upon, even as shock troops. All right, so the law is that you can't use magic that hasn't been approved of by the state. Now, are we gonna hold to the letter of the law, or are we gonna use an advantage to save, lives of our own troops? Better dead than red. Rather than submit to Scarlet Horse's conscription, conquered locals began committing suicide. Desperate to add more bodies to the horde, the Scarlet Horse demanded a portion of disfavored prisoners. What? They want disfavored prisoners? The disfavored denied the right of recruitment, as the realm's population had taken a steep decline. So what are my options? I can either, you ban the Scarlet Chorus from recruiting in the realm of Stalwart, going so far as notifying the locals to assuage their fears, or, so I'm informing the locals to GTFO before, they get recruited. Or, you refuse that, I think I'm going super law-abiding to the point of, brutally, Judge Dredd. Yeah, somebody even said it in chat just now. Judge Dredd style. I am the law. You refuse to disfavored requests and allow the Scarlet Horse to continue recruitment if the numbers are already this low. I think I'm gonna go with you ban the chorus from recruiting in the realm. I think this will buy me some points in the coming occupation as well. We're looking into the future, guys. That's what we're doing. We're looking to the future. Next. You agree with the disfavored's arguments. This conquest was never about ruling a graveyard, but the Scarlet Chorus acted contrary to that goal. The voice of Nerat and his mobs blamed you for suppressing their ability to conduct war as they saw fit. In spite of their protest, you read this proclamation in every conquered village, knowing that enemy spies would hear your verdict. No recruitment. I mean, what's the point? If we're gonna be conquering this land, we can't be conquering it and then slaughtering everyone who lives there. I think not. The disfavored carried, excuse me. It's a lot of reading, guys. Let me drink my coffee. Okay. The disfavored carved a slow, steady path in the heart of Stalwart and surrounded the enemy's massive fortress. With the main bulk of their forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreated to their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. That's not gonna work. The Overlord answered this impingence with an edict of storms on the peninsula, a devastating spell that would endure for as long as the cowardly hearts of Stalwart's leaders persisted in beating. Knowing you had the trust of Graven Ash, Tunin deemed you the proper representative to deliver Kairos' edict. Aside from being given a 3-day window to read the edict, you received no other instructions. The Edict of Storms. I can give no warning. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavored, you proclaimed the edict at once, leaving the enemy no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender for several years. The time for mercy is long gone. We can give them some time to prepare. In an attempt to ingratiate themselves with the people of Stalwart, the Scarlet Chorus insisted that warning be sent to towns and villages, so that people may prepare for the horror about to descend upon them. So this is an issue where the elite soldiers want to win the war by the most direct means necessary, right? But the Scarlet Chorus is made up of many locals, so I have the choice between saving some of the villages, allowing them to prepare for this giant storm, or winning the victory quickly. Once again, I've had this running theme of, hang on a second, gotta drop that banhammer one more time. Of this, I don't know, stripe of morality in this character, while focused on the military victory. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go with the Scarlet on this one. We're not gonna be one side or the other. Kairos' wrath was intended for the cowardly regents of Stalwart, not those unfortunates swept in the calamity of their leadership. A warning in advance of the spell would give locals time to prepare for the devastation to come. You were content to let punishment fall on the innocent as lightly as Kairos' will allows. Comforted that you might yet spare lives, you broke the seal of Kairos' edict, the storms, and read the Overlord's incantation. So this massive storm has come through. It is taken down the city, and we have saved as many lives as possible within the leadership's rule. The Edict of Storms. The clear skies darkened as you read the final word of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and craggy canyons, turning rocks, uprooted trees, and hapless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with a measure of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers worth of limbs, spears, armor, and skulls. Oh, jeez. What's more, the weather showed no sign of dissipating. Several units of disfavored who fought the enemy in spite of the advantaged storm were caught up in the Overlord's magic. Few survivors regrouped and nursed their wounds. Their failure to topple the Stalwart Legion shamed them into believing the dead more fortunate. Oh man. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave for the remade landscape, festooned with iron and bronze armaments of two once great legions. As Kairos' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruins of Stalwart, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunin called into your service once more. So the disfavored took some hits in that. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? God, continue. That was long, and my throat can't take another run through that. It's fun, though. I got a feeling most of this is not going to be voice acted, so we'll see how long I can actually stream this before my throat just quits. Oh, man.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands.
Why are they called the Disfavored? Like, I hope there's a bit of lore there. The Scarlet Chorus I get because they're this large army, like horde army almost. But the Disfavored, I don't know. The Chorus reminds me of the Legion. I wonder how close I am to that from Fault and Evasion.
But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault.
Oh, shit.
With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored.
Oh, crap.
The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
What? Okay. Oh, that's creepy. Ah, what's with the frame rate? That was pretty bad. If this is the first time visiting to the world of Tyranny, watch for those windows. Watch for these windows to help you become familiar with the game. You can disable these and blah 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 blah. Okay, will do. Yeah, very. Oh, interesting. Hi. Kairos, the Overlord, be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley had sealed you on the other side. The disfavored warrior clasped her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of the Legion. Aurora, I bid you welcome. Return to Vendrian's Well. The altitude is still dizzying and the locals still revolting. Doubly so this time around, as they've passed on that peaceful accord you offered them. They've pissed on that peaceful accord you've offered them. Eggering Pass is still as you remember it. I was hoping to have the warriors celebrate your return with a proper feast, but I'm told you have places to be. Yeah, I do, indeed. Conversations involve you, another character, sometimes additional parties like bystanders or companions who may interact. The choices you make will change how the story develops. I've heard you even get experience from the choices that you make in these conversations, which is actually kind of pretty cool. Because some of the decisions you'll make, you will miss out on some of the combat. So you'll still get the experience that you would have gotten from that combat if you work your way through the events in another direction. Your character's attributes, skills, history, and gender, as well as decisions you have made in the conquest may all open up options for dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to other responses, but give you a wider variety of attitudes. These options are not necessarily superior to other responses, but give you a wide variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. I see. Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait. These banners indicate which faction the character is allied with. The tooltip on these banners will provide you details about how that faction feels about you. So, I am in favor with the disfavored. Just wrap your brain around that one. I helped them quite a bit during the war, so it's not surprising that they like us a bit, 20%, I guess. That's 0 favor, it says, but it says 20% to tier 1. Huh, okay. You also see names of important characters and locations displayed in gold text color. The tooltips, okay, that'll just tell me what it is. Okay, so, they pissed on our piece of cords. And we can actually put our mouse over these and read more. Now, keep in mind, the way that they made this game, they built it on top of Pillar of Eternity's engine, so they got a lot more time to flesh out the story and then the directions that this story can kind of go, right? All right, so, continuing forward. Aurora. But on a personal note, it's good to see another Harbinger. By Kairos' will, most of our old invasion forces still lives, but most of us have been scattered across the tiers, reassigned as needed, as needs change. I miss those days. And there was so much battle ahead of us, so much glory to still be won, but I know the Archons are expecting you, so don't let me wax nostalgically about the old days. Glare silently. I got a little bit of lore here. I'm in a hurry, deliver message to the Archons. I have a lore option. Can you hear the hum in the air, that glow around the rocks? The avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley. Your senses see more than mine, good Fatebinder. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic, that you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. And what does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague? An edict of twisted bones? I'm here to deliver let's just keep it on the low. I'm here to deliver a message to the Archons. Well, you've traveled a long way, and I won't keep you any further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you. Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners, 3rd time this week. Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over a collapsed path by which you have arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. Let's get into some combat. For the glory of Kairos! I hope they do like an advanced version of this game with voice acting. Like they did for a different developer, but what was it? Help me out, guys. Another isometric RPG came out with a collector's edition of something recently that had all voice acting. So, Tyranny uses a pausable real-time combat system because you will often manage more than one character at a time. Ideal to pause the game. So I guess it's not technically turn-based. It is real time, but you're gonna find yourself pausing it pretty often. Your character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon. I'm guessing if I just right click, I have an honor guard here. It actually gives me all his stats and who he's with, the Brendan Guard. And these are my special abilities, I would assume. So if I click this, I guess I'm not in range. Ability bar. All of your character abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category icon at the bottom. Is that what this is? Stealth, select a party member. These are formations, and this is our camping supplies. Okay. Yeah, it's very Pillars of Eternity. Interesting. click my character, John Rowland. We can get all our information. All characters in the game, friend or foe, have 5 primary defense stats. I guess these are all the primary defense stats right here. Magic, defense, armor. I'm not wearing much in the way of armor, so I guess that's not gonna be a thing. All right, let's get into it. We'll figure it out as we play. So
can't.
unpause it, zooming in real fast. And we're gonna pause it real quick. Let's do a shield slam on this guy's face. Smack, and I missed.
On it.
And she's not in our party yet, so we can't do anything with her. It's a very old school combat system. This is Titan's Touch. I can actually use this on you. Let's try Titan's Touch.
Take that.
I'm gonna use all of the things. Well, I guess I can't.
On it.
I can use it on myself though.
Will do.
No, don't go around him. Don't disengage. The shield makes it so I swing much slower. Interesting. So where's the health bars in this? Like, he is near death. I'm fine. Come on, die, you bastard. Let's do our attack. Flat. That's 1 down. Let's check further along the path. I want to loot him first. We're not going anywhere until I loot him. Oh, the Boulder's Gate flashbacks that I'm getting. So what do we got here? Whetstone, 2 armor penetration for attack. I assume I can use that on my weapons? Yeah, self, and then we've got a potion of protection. Extra armor. Oh, the animations are so goofy. I will say the frame rate is really not great right now. Let's pause it real quick. A boulder. A rock slide blocks the path ahead. You can squeeze through a narrow gap between the stones, or you can attempt to push one of the boulders out of the way. I have 30 athletics. I can do this. Let's just push the damn thing out of the way. Out of my way. Oh, and I crushed her with it. Right. Beautiful. Into the fight. Stab him in the face. So you can imagine how the game, do a shield attack here. I like his armor. So that's what the unfavored or disfavored look like with their armor. Hell of a lot better than me. I can zoom out and see the actual space. Keep in mind, guys, I'm playing this on an ultra-wide monitor, but I'm playing in 1080, so things are very small for me when I play. I can do my special attack here. It's like a recharge time. Yeah, it's got a 20-second cooldown timer. So as you get party members, the combat gets far more tactical than anything like Pillar's combat. Shield bash for the win. Weapon sets, okay. Let's do the thing that makes like Titan's Touch. Give myself a buff. Where is she at? Did she like die or something back there? What happened to our companion, our compatriot?
On it.
Stab him. He's got to be near death. Yeah, he's near death. You can see his information. What is this ability? Warrior, oh, this is the, I can heal myself and bring up my defense, but I don't do much damage. So it allows me to get, Yep, he's dead. Soldier. Don't bother with me. Go down to the pass, Dustras. The soldier clutches his gut and winces. You can see a hint of entrails between his fingers. Oh, sweet babies. And this is the disfavored's logo, so all right. You're wounded and it's not trivial. He laughs through clenched teeth. It's but a scratch. I've seen twice as worse, 10 times over. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. If you'll just let me help. I said I'm fine, the soldier moans and shakes his head. Graven Ash protects. You go on and help the others. Graven Ash, give me a little lore about that. Archon of War is capable of shielding his soldiers from injury and fatigue. Yeah, but not in this case, dude. I'm pretty sure you've got a fatal wound. Before we do anything, though, we've got to loot all the things. What do you got for me? It's a javelin. Probably can sell that. Where did she go? Did she get crushed by, like, the rock? I don't know, or maybe she just ran ahead. Can't loot.
Sorry, can't.
All right, let's keep moving. Waking Death. Revive when defeated for 120 seconds. That sounds epic. Let's take that one. Several skulls. Bleached by sun and picked clean by carrion birds. Let's get in there. What's going on here? A whole lot of stabbing. That's what's going on here.
Try and catch me, worm.
Try and catch me, worm. A young Scarlet Fury weaves around the Vendrian Guard, attacking, avoiding their weapons with fluid grace. She nods to acknowledge you. While fighting these people? Sun Soldier. The breathless enemy passes a glance at her countrymen. This one's crazy. Too much lead in our water. We should cut our losses and turn back. Who are you with? Scarlet Chorus versus the Guard.
Fate Finder. Here at last. Care to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
Save some for me and join the battle. For the Realm of Apex charge. Yeah, I don't think so. Who are we going to engage with? I think I'm gonna go straight in after her and then see if I can give her some type of buff. She's actually on my side now. So, how does this work? I can pick the character that I want to use an ability for. We'll use Shield Bash on this poor fool. And if I click her, what does she get? Burning Iron. Launch a burning arrow that sets foes on fire. Skewer. Thrust both of her weapons into a target, penetrating their armor. Do we have any wounded here? They're all uninjured. This is just the beginning of the fight. All right, let's try that. We'll try Burning Arrow on this ranged target. That didn't actually work the way I expected it to. Probably because I missed click. And now she's turned around, so I bet she's taking like flanking damage. So let's just move you over here. It's probably a poor life choice. And use Titan's Touch. I'll give you a bonus. You can definitely use some backup here. I think I can actually heal you. Now watch me lose my first companion, or first person that I've met. These two are wounded. Come on, lady. What do you got for me? You've got Blood-Soaked Stone. Coordinate with first to knock your opponent prone, then follow up with a strong bleeding attack. Can I heal you? A potion. That's lasting damage. Something to heal. Lesser healing potion. Use this. Use this and survive. Good. That's always the trick, is like figuring out what everything does for your new characters in these. Well, we've almost got both of these guys down. They're near death. I don't want to waste any more abilities on them. I do like that there's a teamwork ability that combines our stuff. Let me help her finish this off. Let's just get back into the fight.
I'm on it.
Stab him in the face. Shield Bash to slow down his damage output. It should be a stun for a minute.
Right.
Finish the job. Let's use her combo ability on this guy. Blood-Soaked Stone, Coordinate.
Let's do it, you and me.
All right, that's really cool. And it actually has like a little bit of an animation there. She popped him in the face and then I like stabbed him in the ground.
In a diplomat's tent.
The fighter surveys the fresh corpses and nods with satisfaction.
Though you did a fair amount of feasting in the second year of the conquest, as I recall. A few of my mates and I caroused with this Apex scum thanks to your good faith gesture. A pity this lot won't be around to remember the good old days.
So cool. So
I'm
it's remembering
versed, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian Guard we killed didn't come alone.
She gestures to the skirmish unfolding in the pass below, shaking her head. We can go join the battle. We can have her explain what she's doing here. You fight like a storm. What's your role in the army?
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets.
So, then why are they attacking now, these guardsmen?
My guess? The Vendrian Guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That, or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
Well, I'm not gonna dismiss her. Let's get into the battle.
Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
So wait, the rings are part of the economy? Weird. We should honor our fallen, not... I see your point.
No
That's
reason to
practical.
pity the fallen.
Loot all the things.
Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
Well, before we go anywhere, we're looting all of the fallen soldiers. Some hide, I don't know, some scroll, potion, a new helmet. Interesting. And it was only the
You got
friendliest people that I could loot, apparently. That's weird. What do we got? When a party member takes damage, they will start to lose health. Health bar next to their portrait will start to decrease. When a party member's health drops low enough, they will gain a wound, and the health bar will turn red. Wounded characters have their maximum health reduced and receive penalties to all skills. Wounds are removed when the party rests or when the character levels up. Okay, so they don't just straight up die, they just get a wound. She's still got Titan's touch on her for that thing that I was doing. I guess it's time to go, and it looks like we're taking the stairs down. Down to the battle! Let's do this. Oh, sweet babies, be on our side. It's a lot of you. Nope. Tarkus, Demos. Eyes forward, no looking back. The Tyranny Guard warrior roars with his falx held high. His words largely lost over the din of combat. You! As his attention lands on you, a double take of recognition comes over the man's face. Peacebinder from the war. If you've come once again talking peace, it seems you're too late. Drop your weapons and perhaps we can settle this without bloodshed. We knew that violating the surrender meant an end to what little mercy goodwill Cairo's forces have or ever will show us. Now there's no turning back. He shakes his head with a frown. I know you tried to do right by us in the past, but now you're between us and our way out. It's nothing personal. Fatebinder, did you hear that correctly? Maybe you misunderstood why you're here. As he signals his men to charge, the sound of chanting rises from the south, drawing his attention. Reinforcements, hurry! I guess we're getting into this fight. Oh good, reinforcements on our side. At least for now, it's not like the Scarlet forces like us very much. Mocking Blaze is his name. All right. Run down the Oathbreakers. Let none escape. From the red mob of reinforcements from the south, a blood chanter emerges at the head of the rabble, the ornamental crest of her staff pulsing with crimson tones. Signing signals of magic and worldly moves her mouth, the blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. Red glow surrounds the Tyranny Guard warriors as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage. Demos, hold position, all of you. You there, keep to the path. The warrior gestures along the canyon trailer, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. No, don't engage them, we need to run. Looks like they're able to enrage people and get them to do what they want, kind of like a magic taunt. I feel like I should be taking the point on this one. And have her kind of sit back, see what happens.
Look at that.
Pause it for a little bit to get everything organized, and then we're gonna use her fire arrow, do a little damage to one of these guys. I'm betting their health isn't very good. Let's go with the one that, this one right here. I wanna see this fire arrow. As for my character, let's do a piercing damage thrust on target. God, the damage is taking so much. There's the fire shot. That's kind of cool. All right, help me out with this one. Blood-soaked stone. This is teamwork. Let's do it. I don't know if going for the armored one is a good move, but...
Ready for another?
Okay, now he's bleeding. Come on, reinforcements, get up here. Time to use one of those potions.
I got it.
Knock him on his ass. There's the reinforcements move. Their captain is dead. Move to engage the ranged spear wielders.
Will do.
Stab him in the face.
I will have your head.
Taking a lot of damage. I wonder if I can like run back with you. Not gonna happen. Unless I can like pull him off her. She just can't take a hit. She's burning through health potions like mad. Oh, you've almost got him too. Dodge, dodge. Oh, she might die. I don't want to keep wasting health potions on her. All right, I'm gonna help her out.
Oh, someone stitch me up.
Don't engage, fall back. Now there's probably a way to keep her from engaging. I gotta look at the AI settings, I guess.
Count on it.
Let's get that archery out there. Just they use you as an archer. Maybe I can get her to prioritize using the bow. There we go though, victory is ours. With no casualties. Unless she's picked up a wound, that might be a thing. Come quick, we have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander. Uh-oh. The commander of the disfavored in the area. No, we gotta loot all the dead people. Oh, okay, good. That wasn't my character's running off. So, I gotta loot. What do you got? Broken armor. While no longer worthy of combat, this broken armor can be sold to a merchant for spare parts. Okay. Down with that.
I got it.
What do you got on you right now? Oh, she just has a taunt. So she didn't die. She just came close. What is this? When your companions in your party are able to execute a unique and powerful ability called companion combos, these abilities allow characters to act in concert, creating a powerful effect. Try using blood-soaked stone. I've already done this. It's awesome. I love it. When a companion combo ability is activated, you will see that the icon above the character's head is set to the same ability. The combo will begin when each character is out of recovery.
On it.
Okay, good to know. Now, I don't know if like, it feels like the frame rate's kind of low right now. Like I said, I haven't played this since I started streaming, so that might be a case of maybe it's just not playing well with XSplit. So I will report on that in the Discord after the stream is over, if it starts running better or if it is just how the game is running right now. Because Pillars wasn't this way. Pillars ran pretty good when it came out. It's the same engine. Hang on a second, gotta drop the banhammer one more time. All right, Tyrell, stow your weapons, or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a huge drop, and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warriors hold a disfavored officer at knife point. Stow your weapons, or we find out, I already did that one. Skewer him! Worry not for me, Graven Ash will protect. The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his bristles and cross. A mocking blaze over here. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? This blade, with a jerk of the knife, he slices off a clump of his matted hair. If you're so eager to see your ally dead, you're dead, just step closer. I gotta drink some coffee. Dying over here. Precipice. I know, I failed to say it like 6 times. What do we got here? Ooh, conquest option. I'm John Rowland. My name should be known to you, and it should be an honorable one. Please give me the knife. Lower your weapon and then charge forward and wrestle the knife from me, my athletic skill. I could use my athletics, but I kind of want to use my history with these people. Do I believe that I'm fast enough to do this? Or should I use my conquest? I'm gonna use the conquest one. So, I'm John Rowland. My name should mean something to you, and you know it to be an honorable one. Please give me the knife. You? You're Turin's envoy? He watches you closely for a moment until his posture slackens and he lowers the knife. If you will vouch for my safety, then His sentence is halted by a spear thrusted into his lung. Leaping forward the moment Tyrael lowers his blade. The disfavored soldiers slaughter the Oathbreakers. Sweet babies. Dazed but alive, Drastus lets out a long sigh and struggles to his feet. I offered the man mercy, and you made a liar out of me. But these mongrels require a firm hand. They can't be trusted, Stone Shield says. And my honor is as dear to me as your sword is to you. Don't forget that a second time. I like that. I like that answer a lot. You've gained favor with the disfavored. Really? I gained favor with them for my answer. Oh, I like that. So what you would have thought, based on my introduction to these guys so far, the disfavored, is that they're the quickest route to victory, right? But because I made a play for, you know, my honor, my word is my bond with this, they actually liked the answer. Very cool. Kairos be praised, that Oathbreaker fought with the rage of Charon himself. Drostus slides a trembling hand along the cut of his neck. Thank you, Fatebinder. I thought today was my last. I wish this guy was voiced. From the look of it, guesses they thought they could swarm the pass. Maybe one might make it out. We found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies. He holds out a hand of crumpled parchment to your inspection. Literacy is a rare to the Northern Empire, where the disfavored are born and trained. Time spent reading and writing is, after all, time not spent sparring. Okay, so they can't read the notes. They have no idea what it says. I have no time to examine this. No, we're examining the parchment. Repeating the same message in different written scripts, the parchment explains Vrendran Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos, Archons, and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invite all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Verdun's Well. Recruitment material. They're trying to bring more traitors to the fight. Yeah, I'll tell him. Well, from the look of it, we kept them from slipping out of the valley. Whatever they hope to accomplish, I think their plans died here. The Archons are expecting you. When you're ready, leave by the gate to the southeast and follow the trail's downslope for a few hours. You'll see the campfire leagues away. You can't miss it. And then the soldiers just kind of go back to what they're doing. Welcome to the ruins. Indeed. Oh, what do we got here? The Archon demands all prisoners be given a chance to serve the chorus. Of course, the chorus is trying to recruit more. These lying horse spawn had their chance long ago. I say kill him. What's the deal here, Captain? This prisoner says his name's Tarkus Demos. I thought we killed him. Drastus lets out a long sigh, tapping his gauntleted finger to his temple. Then I don't think this complicated the matter. He dies. His family's been driving force in the Vendran Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkus clan. Trachis clan, excuse me. Sometimes when I click continue, nothing happens. Mocking Blaze. Alright, so this is the chorus. All must be given a chance to... The chorus mage falls short as her eyes widen at the recognition of your face. You! I see how it is. Have you come to once again deny us the right? How do you expect us to fight if we're denied the right to claim new blood? Oh... Yeah, they're remembering what I did at the fortress, where I wouldn't let them recruit new people because the population was already too thin. We'd let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return, defecting over and over again. I can't let this nonsense strategy continue. Blaze here. Well, I insist this Oathbreaker be taken to the voice of Neret, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Faithbinder here to settle the matter for us. The chanter turns to you, expectant smile crossing his face. So, what say you? What should become of the prisoner? Do we execute him? Or recruit a new warrior? I have a history here already. I'm already kind of pushing toward wrath with the Mocking Blaze, or with the chorus. But if I side with the disfavored, I'll already get to the first tier, whatever that means, the first tier of the disfavored. He's an Oathbreaker. What do you guys think? I'm curious what you guys think. Blood for the Blood Gods. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking execute him. He's an Oathbreaker. He's broken his word, and that's something that's obviously very important to my character. Of course, he's gonna hate me. But yep, it looks like chat agrees. Kill him. The Tearsmen can't be trusted. Rakes, thieves, whores, nothing more. We were too merciful the first time. Destrus nods to the nearby warrior. I have this one tied up. He and his friends can watch each other rot in the sun. Oh man, just kill him. Don't drag it out. I won't keep you here any longer, Faithbinder. I know you have important business in the valley. He salutes you, his island gauntlet wrapping against his breastplate. For the glory of Kairos. Indeed. And so this is the first camp. So let's look around some of the options here that we've got. What can we actually do? This looks like a world map. The area that we're at, some camp outside, looks like the Central Plains area coming out of the mountains. It's gonna give us like the global map. Oh, check it out. All right. Viridian's Well. There's the Bastard City. Haven. Oh, it gives you lore too when you put your mouse over it. Viridian's Well is the name of the central plateau of the Tears, a mountain ringed valley of rivers, floodplains, scattered farmland once ruled by House Vendrin of the realm of Apex. At the heart of the valley is the mountain spire, and the base of the massive stone structure is an old citadel built centuries ago and largely left unused until recent times. Here's the, we could scroll down. Where's the fortress that we sieged for so long? Can I not zoom out any farther? Apparently not. I don't know where that is. The Blade Grave. This is it right here. Oh, I guess the fortress is just gone, and now it's this. I heard that a lot of the art and a lot of the areas that you're going to end up in is kind of like, it's based on having a magical apocalypse. I bet the Blade Grave is really going to represent that. Like the city just destroyed everything. But anyhow, let's get out of here. Gives us the time of day. How do I get out of the map? Probably M. There we go. Missives? Oh, these are gonna be, this is our journal, I see. Character sheets for our two characters, verse. Oh, I can change my primary colors. There's so much stuff to explore in this. Oh, my traits. Okay. Requires talent points. We do actually have a talent point. Staggering force causes thrust to interrupt the target, delaying their next attack. That's kind of cool. Leadership skills. Oh, man. Plant a banner in the battleground. You and your party members near the banner regenerate health. Ranged abilities. I always liked the idea that leadership is a skill tree all of its own. Or a character class. But we'll have to see. Spell creation. You can make your own spells. Core spell and then add-on spells. I don't have any core sigils though, so read that later. We'll come back to that.
On it.
I guess we'll just carry on. Can we talk to any of these people? Hello. The casualties.
Right.
I'm more afraid of the voices than of Kairos. Okay. Oh, this is where we came from. We want to come from here. Let's continue on. Try to drop the band hammer one more time. There we go. Was that like 5 times this morning? So where are we gonna go? We've got something up here.
Sorry,
let's go check a look.
Cat.
What is this interaction? Tell me more. Climb the rope. You see a very old, broken section of wall. There's a rope hanging down that has recently been used to scale it. I think I have the athletics for this. Let's try it. Let's go up the rope and find out
See
what's up
that?
there. What do we got? Potion of invisibility. Oh, nice. I guess that's all that's up here. All right, back down the rope. Hold tab to highlight searchable containers. Oh! Neat. And names, apparently. Oh, and, like, lore bits. Come on, guys. Come over here. I want to see if I can talk to this guy. Looks like a shop owner. Hello, sir. Fatebinder. What an honor to have one of Turnan's court visit our humble holdfast. Need supplies? Bursting with energy, the merchant slams her bomb down on top of a crate. If so, you've come to the right place. What do you got for me? Let's see what you have. Weapons. We've got weapons. What I really like is some armor, but you don't seem to have any armor. You have to buy camping supplies. What? Bronze rings and copper rings. These are the resources that you work with. That's the economy in this. Interesting. All right, you have no armor, and my weapon is just a bronze sword, so I can't upgrade, but you don't have anything that upgrade with or to. Intriguing. All right, let's move on.
On
To
it.
the next place. What's going on here? Can we loot this person? What the shit is this, like, blood dripping out of this thing's eyeballs? I saw this when we came in. The once pure water of Queen Asirius tears have run red with blood since Chaos' forces invaded. Ugh. Grief. Loot, loot, loot. Take all the things. Looks like there's a path heading south.
Can't do that.
Or maybe not. I actually forgot where he said to go, so we'll just go exploring some more. You look like you've got weapons down there.
Sorry, can't.
Anything over here to explore? Was it tab to look at stuff? Oh, searchable container. Some food. What does food do? Oh, plus to wit. And a head wrap.
Sorry.
I picked up a head wrap. I'm totally gonna... Oh, I have a helmet on right now.
Can't.
All right. No, I'm not gonna equip the head wrap if I've got a helmet currently on.
Sorry, can't.
All right, so can I look at like a local map? Oh, if I hit M, I can. There's a gate to the south here we can use. Let's go down there. So you guys are wondering, this just came out today over on Steam. Waited quite a few hours for it to unlock this morning. In this, poor guy. You must gather your party before venturing forth. Disfavored camp. This fort was constructed shortly after routing rebels along the valley's western edge. The Archon, Graven Ash, Jixters, all disfavored efforts from this location. Take me 3 hours to get there. Let's go ahead and move on. I wonder if there's gonna be like random events between traveling. That's what I'd like to know. We have arrived. Take what you can carry and leave the cart. Otherwise, we seize all of your wares. This is robbery. What's going on here? So we've got some disfavored. Hail, Fatebinder. The disfavored scout nods as you approach. Camp's up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. Sterling, I guess this is the guy owning the cart. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll, but she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I am not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. I could threaten his life, but that seems a little overboard. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. Or this is none of my concern. Is that really the case? I guess that would be really the case. None of my concern. Carrying on. Right you are. We'll take it, this vulture, in conversation. Guess they're claiming all his stuff. Oh, they just straight up arrested him. I've got my own problems right now. Slow down a moment. I know you're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. All right, what is it, Verse? The voices of Nurate told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story, so let's have it out. What's so special about you? Oh, I'm like 2 points short of the lore requirement and the subterfuge requirement. Why so suspicious? It's just a feeling I've got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them to see eye to eye. So why invite a mediator to turn its court? It just doesn't add up. What else has the voices of Nurate told you? Only that I could find you in Edgering Ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of Manti River. She laughs, but there's a forceful nature to it. I'm gonna tell her. I'm here to deliver an edict. That makes a crazy kind of sense, considering how long the siege has taxed the armies. I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all will perish. One more thing for the Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to duck. All right, so we've gained a little bit of loyalty with her because I was straight up right with her. So why are they at odds? This might help me later on. I've been with the Scarlet Corps since the early days of the Conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about these two, like a pair of storms moving in to collide. I heard tell that the Graven Ash and the Voice of Nurate share some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. By my authority, all the Archons will fall in line. That sounds like exactly the attitude that set this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. All right, anyways, we better get going. We really ought to meet the Archons. The war tent is just past the center of the camp. She nods to the northwest. Oh, one last thing. Be careful around the disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head.
On it.
Indeed. Let's get to the camp. Who do we have here? Step closer and present yourself. The gate guard hold up a warning hand. Go no further. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. I'm John Rowland, Fatebinder of Turnin. I bring word from Kairos. Words for your commander's ears. I like I have glare silently as an option. I'm just gonna stare at you. It's an honor to have you in the camp, Fatebinder. Sorry to the advance of all the arguments your presence will bring out. Hopefully, it won't be long, or it won't be like back in Stalwart with the chorus trying to claim our work slaves, just because you can't win a battle without crippling losses. Fatebinder, I think this misguided little shit just insulted my brother and sisters. In my book, that's a dispute between the armies. Are you going to stand for that? Oh, sweet babies, don't make me choose between the two of you right now. I got shit to do. Ah, Pit Fighter. I probably could like have a showdown with him if I was Pit Fighter. No harm done versus just stand down. None to you maybe, but word of mouth and one standing are important in the army. Cocky guard who doesn't know his business can do as much damage as a pitchfork to the gut. I thought you had figured that out by now. Oh, Jesus. Go on in, soldier gestures toward the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent at the center camp. So there's gonna be a bit of balance here. Like there's going to be aspects. This is her current level versus my current level. There's gonna be aspects to like the answers that I give that can actually hurt my party standing with me, which is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and head in. All right, well, we'll explore the camp later. I wanna find the people I need to talk to. Prison cells, this must be the camp. The Archons await you inside, Fatebinder. Good. Yesterday, you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest something else that just disappeared? Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus before we're taken seriously. Let's just talk to them before we go back and forth. I dig their look.
There's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with magical energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald lunescapes seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most notable when his neck ought to be. Where his neck ought to be? His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. Clear your throat, remain silent. Kind of want to hear what else they have to say. I'm going to remain silent.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
Iron Marshal Erinus. He actually looks really cool over here. And not really in this picture, but from above he looks cool. My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises his voice, trying with a little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
Well, let's say here. I kind of want to hear him fight it out a little bit more. But let's, I'm going to remain silent more time.
I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
Maybe they'll just kill each other and I get promoted.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
He tosses his scepter into the air, catching as it descends back down. All right, it's time for me to step up. You two just about done. They bicker like children, do they not? Fifth eye. What is fifth eye? The fifth eye, granting tenor, pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the Crimson Spear. I meant only to say welcome. Welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retrainer bows with rushed in elegance, then raises his salute and nodded a moment too soon.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He is even more. Is he talking to me? Give you permission to speak. Glare silently.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
If they may well kill you.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Eddring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
You guys done bickering? I have an edict to proclaim.
My dear Binder, We won't be done bickering until the last of Ash's hair falls out. We'll pause for you to read your little missive. Go on, don't keep us all in suspense.
All right, I kind of like him. Just a little bit.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city.
Indeed.
Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
Okay, what do we got here? The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos, Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. I mean, that's straight up what it is, so that's the one we're gonna tell him. The earth sways with each word you utter. The air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. It's every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from long trip down the mountain, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly brought out the vigor. I've finally done what I've been sent to do.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
Shit. Okay, so the situation, if we can't get the situation under control, we all die.
We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
There they go again. I actually have enough points in Subterfuge to do this? They call you Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. Are you too daft? Is this your indecision and bickering that necessitated this edict? I actually kind of like that one, but it's pissing these guys off might not be a good choice. Ah, fuck it.
Daft? Only fools hate their lives enough to insult our intellect. But, our dear Binder, your invective is not without purpose. Each moment we waste, death by edict draws closer. Graven Ash, we leave you to tackle the river. The chorus will scour the outer valley.
I love that this is actually affecting how much they like me. And either one of them don't really like me. He's a little bit kind of there, the Graven Ash. General, or whatever you want to call him. I forgot what they call them now, but...
So that is what it takes to get you to agree to a plan of action. The threat of death? You place the Overlord in this position with your incessant arguments, but now we've actually agreed to do something. Kairos be praised.
No more sitting idle. I expect the disfavored to be on the march at once.
You've delivered your edict. Do not pretend it gives you the right to give orders to an Archon.
Okay, so the command structure here doesn't actually put me in command of anything. I just happen to be like the favored leader with a bit of a history so far. My Lord Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping a hand gauntlet to the breastplate. Yep. Fifth Eye. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
And so we
I won't
go
let you
to
down,
war.
boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls the scepter one last time, then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and the two depart. So I guess she's been assigned to me now to keep me alive as a bodyguard. Why did I
Fine.
get a bodyguard from...
The fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end.
And these two were vying
Though
for
the
power.
edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective.
Oh, we get to be part of the assault.
If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
Do I actually have a choice? It'd be interesting to be able to be like, no, I'm a diplomat, and just walk out. Now that would be cool. Okay, let's see, this is Iron Marshal. I'm short on a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping out?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel, and we need the Chorus manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we've crossed the river. Yeah, I'd be honored to help. Let's do it. I will be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you're ready to continue. She pauses, clearing her throat. Although I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in the rat's nest they call it Camp Due East. Seek him out if you must. So I have a choice now. I can work with the Chorus, or I could go on the assault across the river. I think I want to go the assault across the river. I think that'd be far more interesting. And I like the more elite soldiers of the unfavored. Why do they call the unfavored, though? That's what I want to know. They're spying on me. Indeed. All right, guys. Well, I've been streaming for about 2 hours, so I think I'm going to call the stream here. Let me know if you guys would like to see more of this. You know, it plays a lot like Pillars of Eternity in a different universe, using the same engine with kind of a little bit of a different art style, but I'm definitely digging it. I love the fact that because they already had the engine in place, they were able to focus on making a campaign where character actions and story actions really drive the story and where it goes. That opening section where you're like choosing what you did during the war, I just tried to open the map, is a really unique function. I dig that, because that's gonna change how this plays out. I hope it continues to be that way through the whole thing. Like the Blade of Graves and the options that I chose there, how is that gonna change things? Am I gonna run into survivors of the villages around the fort that I warned beforehand? Could be very cool. All right, guys, you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel for more gaming goodness, and I will see you guys next time. Later, everybody.